Can we get a sneak peek of like what you got, what you're cooking up?
Yeah, so on it, dude, there's actually been a lot of things that have just been kind of coming my way. Just in the 2 weeks, it's kind of crazy how that works out because it wasn't there before. And I said that there's certain things like whether it's like advisory positions on company, because if I'm not competing with Faze, like Faze needs to field a roster, they're a partner team, and I've been trying to help them because they did really well by me field teams. So I got a couple teams in mind there that I can't really dive too deep into. I mean, Tripods is obviously one of them that is high on the list of I would love if they played under Faze if I'm not.
You mentioned Tripods potentially fielding a team with Faze, even if you're not playing, which I think is a very interesting opportunity because the Tripod story is crazy. And I think you might have been scrimming with them today. Just kind of talk about like some of that opportunity with Faze to potentially bring in a team to Apex, even if you're not really a part of this.
Yeah, I mean, Faze has done me so well since the very beginning. And I've talked, they've had their ups and downs as an organization, but I can only speak from my personal experience. And every single thing that they said that they were willing to offer me, going back to Halo and then building an Apex, everything has been truthful. Even in times when I didn't think that like they had any need to, stick on to me or could have gone separate ways that might have even been better in terms of team situations or whatever. But they're very loyal and they just, I want to help them just field as good of a roster. And Tripods has history. They were with Nick Merckx, a big part of Faze obviously as well. So they supported them and they came to me and wanted to make sure I was okay with them even like supporting that roster. And like, even that alone is, whether I'm okay with it or not, like they could have still done it, but just even reaching out is a pretty cool thing that you don't see too often from orgs. They kind of move in their own way silently. So I think Tripods would be a great storyline, kind of working back into the Faze mix after Nick Merckx left. It's like, how much of attachment do they still have? And then they clutched up EWC. They had a good pretty good first week in Pro League, like good first day, pretty rough second day. But I don't know what they're looking for. I'm not in on those talks of salaries or anything like that. So maybe, that might not line up. But I think that both parties like would have interest. I couldn't see why they wouldn't be interested in Faze. They were with them before, and I'm sure a lot of orgs possibly hit them up after their qualification. But if I can't field them, an NA roster, like, I mean, who knows where else you can look. I mean, there's a lot of good teams in different regions. I don't know if Faze would ever go to other areas, but yeah, I want to help them field a good roster that fits within, what they're looking for.
Well, Faze had a pretty serious EU team for for CSGO. So, they're definitely open to probably searching into other regions if the right opportunity is there.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to see Faze, to go to Europe or, APAC or something. And just, if they're just looking to have a team in the skin in the game, then there's some really good teams in other regions that aren't working with anyone.
Yo, low key, 07, if they still don't have a team, that's definitely one of the best EU teams I can think of in terms of like the I feel like Nasky out of all like the guys on the EU would fit that Faze
role type of
that Faze.
Little bully personality,
just like he's like, I'm the best, don't give a fuck, like shut the fuck up, like that's just
yeah. Funny story about that. I actually even pitched to Nasky if I was gonna, because there was a chance that I was taking last split off where I played with Zara and Pan, and I pitched to Nasky like, hey, like I think your team would be a solid option to represent Faze, and he was super excited. I told him like, don't talk too much about that, but if I wasn't, I mean, I absolutely would have put his team on the radar. They were really hot, and I said the same thing. I said Nasky would be a good representation.
And for a team that gets to finals lobbies at LANs, like Nasky has like the experience. If that guy wasn't contested every time he went to a finals lobby, he would be placing really high every single LAN because he's made match point doing it, and he doesn't lose contests.